All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Indianapolis Colts in tonight's video. 27-14 final preseason finale victory for the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson is getting absolutely flamed on Twitter. I do not understand in any way, shape, or form. This is a kid who has started 4 NFL games. He got injured in that 4th NFL game, like, what was it, after the first quarter? So he pretty much has 3 NFL starts, and obviously he went down with a season-ending injury, which is he didn't just get benched, right? Like, come on. I am shocked by the Twitter just kind of conversation and discourse on Bleacher Report, Twitter, every single thing. Everybody is just being negative about Anthony Richardson. Folks, this is a dude who literally has 4 NFL starts, and this is a preseason football game where he had season-ending injury. It's not going to be perfect. Even if he played and started all 17 games and led the Indianapolis Colts to the Super Bowl and got it done, it still wouldn't be a perfect preseason, I assume. So welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we're talking about the Indianapolis Colts in today's video, but before we do, it's 10:52 at night. But before we do, if you guys enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We're going to try and make as many Colts videos as humanly possible because I really think the AFC South is extremely underrated. I think it's extremely undercovered. But Colts fans, we are posting you guys a couple of times a week. So if you try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So for the evening, Anthony Richardson went 8 of 14 for 86 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Now, in the opening drive, I wish they just sat him. I wish he was not injured last year and they could just sit him in the preseason finale because, folks, it was that good. 7 for 8, 65 yards, and a touchdown to the rookie out of Texas, Adonai Mitchell. We're going to get to him in just a second because, I mean, folks, like, Josh Downs dealing with an ankle sprain right now. Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell paired up with Anthony Richardson, folks. Like, it really could get scary. I don't personally know why the Indianapolis Colts can't win 10 games this upcoming season and even give a team like the Houston Texans a run for their money. I've been covering the AFC South a lot this past couple of weeks because I'm looking at it, I'm thinking Houston's got like a really tough schedule. One of these teams, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indianapolis, they could easily come in and replace them as the champions of the division. But it did get ugly after that opening drive. After that 7 of 8, 65 yards and the touchdown on the opening drive, he went 1 of 6 for 21 yards. And then obviously the fumble, he did end up recovering it. And I do want to say a couple of things, but before I do, I want to give you just kind of an idea. If you guys stayed away from Twitter, that's a good thing. I would also probably stay away from NFL media if they do decide to talk about the Colts, which would be shocking to me. This is from Ben Kurt. I think he's like the quarterback guru on Twitter and YouTube. I think he's a former Packer, so I like him, but I don't think he had a crazy NFL career, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not trying to rag on the guy in any way, shape, or form, but this is what he said. I've seen enough. I'm out on Anthony Richardson. And by out, I mean 6th quarterback in fantasy this year, no chance. Able to lead the Colts to anything worthwhile this year, no chance. Casuals think this is about the pick 6. This was on the tight end. It's the air mailing layups across the field. That doesn't get fixed in 10 days. So, we started this video off with the pick 6. There was a pick 6 on there. I'm sorry, guys. We got to wait for the NFL season to go a little bit longer because I'm not affiliated with the NFL, so I can't just, post full game highlights. I wish I could, but not a perfect world. That interception was on Colin Granson. All right. And that's very clear. And that's what Kurt just laid out for himself. It seemed like a miscommunication or just a poor route or the wrong route on Colin Granson. Anthony Richardson was, he had a couple of words to say to him afterwards. Just once again, seemed like a miscommunication. But, in that 1 of 6 for 21 yards after the opening drive, there was a specific play. I think it was 2. There were 2 actually that come to my mind. Michael Pittman, where I actually think Anthony Richardson threw a perfect football where Pittman had to slide. He had to dive he didn't really have to like dolphin dive in like Black Ops, but he had to kind of dive like a Tyler Lockett type of dive to the ground, no yards after catch, that kind of throw. The announcers ridiculed that pass. I don't know if I'm seeing something different. Obviously, I'm not a quarterback guru like Kurt Benkett or the guys on the NFL Network, but They were ridiculing that throw for not like, oh my god, Pittman had to die for that. I think that was over dramatic. I really didn't see that at all. But yeah, there were a couple of overthrows, specifically one to Adonai Mitchell. I believe it was Mitchell, and he was wide open. He was going to the sideline, and it was certainly an overthrow, and it was just bad timing, and it was a bad throw. Or I guess it was a bad throw because he overthrew it, but once again, we have to revert to the fact of a couple of things. First off, Anthony Richardson started 4 football games. 3 of those he finished, so he's pretty much played 3 NFL regular season games in his career. Number 2, this is preseason. And number 3, there's a reason why you could compare him to a cat like Cam Newton or even Lamar Jackson. Athletically wise, coming out of last year's draft class, there was not a single quarterback that was anything like Anthony Richardson. I mean, he's what, like 6'4", 225, 240, something like that. This is a specimen of an athlete. And I remember watching this kid play at Florida, at home in the swamp against my South Carolina Gamecocks, and he freaking lit us up. But if you watch Anthony Richardson play in college football, you know he's not going to be like a 68% completion guy, nor really should he. He should be a guy who leans more into his edge, which is his freak athleticism and big-time playability. The fumble was definitely something you do not want to see, and I will just go out on a limb, say you'll see it plenty of times this upcoming season. Ball security is going to be big for Anthony Richardson, taking slides, not taking big hits, but you need more reps. You need more live reps. I'm not going to freak out and say the Colts aren't going to do anything because Anthony Richardson overthrew Adonai Mitchell at some point in the football game. Speaking of Adonai Mitchell, the kid did a great job in the limited playing time. 4 total targets, 2 catches, 18 yards, and that touchdown. Alec Pierce also had a nice little game, 2 catches for 31 yards. I'm telling you, the Colts have the same starting 5 on the offensive line. You got a healthy Jonathan Taylor, which we've seen can be the best running back in the National Football League because he was 2 years ago for 2 straight years. And then defensively, I want to talk about Latu real quick because he had a sack. It's the best. He's the best defensive player in the draft. He's going to be a day 1 impact player. So is Mitchell. But Latu, man, I'm telling you, he's had a crazy story. I put him right next to Byron Murphy over in Seattle as far as like who I think can be the best defensive players, especially in the first round. I'm telling you, and you guys don't even need to hear this, Latu fell on your freaking laps. Adonai Mitchell fell onto your freaking laps. Don't listen to anything NFL media has to say about Anthony Richardson's preseason finale. We'll deal with the regular season when it comes just a couple of weeks away. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you guys want more Colts videos, let me know down below. Give me your thoughts on AR from tonight and the Colts in general. Peace.